I'm Rob Zombie. Welcome to TCM Underground. Tonight we've got The Conqueror Worm, a British film starring the king of American horror, Vincent Price. The Conqueror Worm takes its name from an Edgar Allan Poe poem that actually has nothing to do with this film whatsoever. In fact, the film was originally released in England as The Witchfinder General. However, the film's American distributor, American International Pictures, had already found great success with Roger Corman's Poe pictures, also starring Vincent Price, like The Pit and the Pendulum and The Raven. So producer James Nicholson decided to capitalize on the success of those films and simply tacked on Vincent Price reading from Poe's stories to the beginning and the end of the movie. The film is, in fact, based on a historical figure, Matthew Hopkins, set in the mid-17th century during the English Civil War. This conflict had thrown the country into chaos, and out of this chaos emerged Hopkins, a lawyer who found he could make a tidy profit in the business of extracting confessions from people accused of witchcraft. Confessions to these imaginary crimes were generally achieved through the use of torture. If that failed, other measures would be taken to prove their guilt.
You will each be tied in a prescribed fashion and cast into the moat. Should you then sink, you will know that your confessions are false. If, on the other hand, you are seen to swim or float, then your confessions of witchcraft are proven beyond a doubt in the sight of God.
Hopkins was reportedly responsible for trying and putting to death some 230 witches. Price actually wasn't the first choice for the role of the Witchfinder. Michael Reeves wanted Donald Pleasance. However, Price was a bigger box office draw at the time and was cast at the producer's insistence. Price and Reeves took an instant dislike to each other. Reeves felt that Price's over-the-top style would ruin the film. Price, on the other hand, found Reeves to be aloof and condescending. They clashed repeatedly on set, and Reeves is said to have deliberately antagonized Price in order to get the performance he wanted. Whether or not that's the case, Price delivers a chilling portrayal of a calculating, bloodthirsty sociopath who takes deep satisfaction in, as he puts it, doing God's work. Price himself has called it one of his finest performances. The film pulls no punches in its presentation of violence, and while it may not be particularly gory by today's standards, at the time of its release, the depiction of torture and execution shocked audiences. While Matthew Hopkins did exist, the film's storyline is fictionalized. Ian Ogilvy plays Richard Marshall, a young soldier who swears vengeance after Hopkins extracts sexual favors from his fiancée in an attempt to prevent the execution of her uncle. As his pursuit of the Witchfinder continues, Marshall's obsession grows until his bloodlust rivals that of Hopkins himself. From 1968, here's Vincent Price in The Conqueror Worm. With its themes of loyalty, honor, and revenge, it's been pointed out that The Conqueror Worm resembles an American Western. Throw in its wide vistas, galloping horses, and blazing pistols, The Conqueror Worm could be described as a John Ford film set in 17th century England. And with its unsettling depiction of religious fanaticism run amok, the persecution of non-believers, the hypocrisy of inflicting torture in the name of righteousness, secret trials, and shadowy judgments, the film maintains its relevance even today. Tragically for Michael Reeves, The Conqueror Worm would be the end of a short but promising film career. Despite his many clashes with Price, he would reunite with the star again on The Oblong Box. While in pre-production, however, Reeves, whose mental health had been in decline, was found dead of an accidental overdose of barbiturates and alcohol. Just 25 at the time of his death, one can only wonder what he could have achieved with the benefit of more experience and greater resources. For TCM Underground, I'm Rob Zombie.